Hello, guten Tag Leute. Welcome again in Solidify. Today we will learn nominative, accusative and dative. So there are some tips how to identify nominative, accusative or dative. So let's start with nominative. The first one is nominative. Nominative case. If we have a single subject and a verb, then we can consider that this is a nominative sentence. So I'm going to write here subject plus verb. Example, इश गे है, do comst. So in both the sentences you can see that ish is a subject, again here do is also subject, and comst and ge hai, these are verbs. So if you have a single subject and a verb, that means this is a nominative sentence. So this is the first way to identify the nominative sentence. Now coming to the second one. Second one is sein verb, always nominative. So sein verb will be nominative. Example, ich bin ein student. Ich bin ein student means I am a student. So here you can see bin is a conjugated form of sein. So this part of the sentence we can say that this is a nominative sentence. Ich bin ein Student, that means I am a student, nominative sentence. So we have learned two ways to identify the nominative part. Number one, subject plus verb, or second way to identify is sein verb will always be nominative. Let's we will cover the third one, that is if we have a question with who, in German we will say it where, then sentence will be nominative. Example, ist ein Spieler. Ist ein Spieler means he is a player. Here if I ask you to frame a question, the WH question, then you will make the sentence like who is he. So here the question is with who, that is where. That's why we can say that this sentence is nominative. Second rule was this one, sein verb is nominative. So in this sentence we can identify the nominative with two ways. Number one is with the help of the sein verb. Second one is with question. If we are having a question with who, that is the where, then that part of the sentence will be nominative. Now coming to the second one, that is accusative. Accusative case. How to identify the accusative case? There are various ways to identify it. The first one, question is with what. What will be was in German. If you have a question with what, then that part of the sentence will be accusative. Let me give an example. Ich habe einen Computer. Ich habe einen Computer, that means I have a computer. Now let's break this sentence. How many questions we can have? The first question we can have here is who. Who has a computer? Second one will be what. What do I have? This part we already learned that if the question is with who, then that part of the sentence will be nominative. So this part of the sentence is nominative and this part of the sentence is accusative. So whenever we have the question with who, that will be nominative. If we have the question with what, then there will be accusative case. But there is an exception as well. So let me write the exception. Exception is if the question is with what, but verb is sein, then this sentence will not be a accusative sentence. Why? Because we have already learned that sein verb is always nominative. Like das ist ein Auto. Das ist ein Auto means this is a car. This is a car. If I ask you to make a WH question, then you will make like, what is this? What is this? So you can see that question is with what, but this is the sein verb. That means if we have a question with what, but verb is sein, then this will be a nominative case, not the accusative case. So this is an example. So let's take one more example for the accusative. Er hat einen Garten. Garten means garden, and the article of the garden is der. Their garden is garden. Now, how to identify which part of the sentence is nominative and which part of the sentence is accusative. So, the first one, who has, what has, and this we have already learnt that question is with who, it will be nominative sentence, nominative part, this will be accusative. So before considering this part accusative, we should consider the sein verb. If there is no sein verb, then this is accusative. If there is sein verb, it will be nominative only. So this is the first way to identify the accusative case with the help of question. Now let's come to the second way to identify the accusative. That is direct object. Direct object. Example. Ich schreibe einen Brief. Okay, so if we apply our first rule, then you can apply the first rule as well. The first rule is who is writing. Who is writing? The question is with who, that's why it will be nominative case. Here what I am writing, here you can see that question is with what, that's why it will be accusative. So we have already identified that this part of the sentence is nominative, this is accusative, but we are learning the second way to identify with the help of direct object. So who is the subject here? Ich is the subject. And what exactly this subject is doing? The subject is writing a letter. That means this subject is connected with a letter. So for this subject, brief is a direct object. So whenever we have a direct object in any sentence, that part of the sentence will be accusative part. Okay. Now, one more example. Er kauft ein Auto. Er kauft ein Auto. So who is the subject? Er is the subject. And which is the direct object? Auto, that is the car. Article of the auto is das Auto. Das Auto means car. So for er, auto is a direct object. So what is the second way to identify the nominative and accusative part? That is with the help of direct object. Okay. Now coming to the third way to identify the accusative part. Okay. So third way to identify the accusative is vexel preposition. What are the vexel prepositions? Vexel prepositions are actually the changing prepositions. We can call them the two-way prepositions as well. Like these prepositions can be used in accusative, they can be used in dative. So there are vexel prepositions like in, unter, hinter. Okay, so we are going to take a couple of examples like in and of. So what are the rules for the vexel prepositions? There are two types of rules. So first we can cover like this. First one is, if we have the moment, then this vexel preposition will be used in accusative. If we do not have any moment, no moment, then we can consider it as dative. Third way is, moment is there but in a fixed area, then it will be dative. The first way to identify vexel preposition is in accusative or in dative is with the help of these three rules. If we have a moment, then it will be accusative. If no moment, then dative. If moment is there but in a fixed area, then it will be dative. So let's take an example. Ich gehe in das Zimmer. Zimmer means room. An article of the Zimmer is das Zimmer. Das Zimmer means room. So let's apply the rules. Who is going? Who is going in the room? We have already learnt that if we have a question with who, then that part of the sentence will be nominative. So this is nominative part. Ich gehe is nominative. Then comes in. What is this in? In is a vexel preposition. And what is the rule? If there is a moment, it will go in accusative. So this is a vexel preposition. And this will be accusative. Why accusative? Because I am going in the room, so moment is there. Das Zimmer will go in accusative, it will remain das Zimmer only. So das Zimmer nominative, das Zimmer accusative. So ich gehe in das Zimmer. So this is the first way to identify. If we have moment, then it will be accusative. Ich gehe in das Zimmer. Let's take more example. Ich bin in dem Zimmer. Ich bin in dem Zimmer means I am in the room. I am in the room. So let's break the sentence. Here we have question with who. That's why this is nominative. Second way is sein verb is there. That's why also it is nominative. So we can identify this part of the sentence with two tips. First one is with the help of question. Second is with the help of sein verb. If the sein verb is there, it will be nominative. Then comes in. What is this in? In is a vexel preposition. And you can see there is no moment. Because I am in the room, there is no moment. So if there is no moment, it will go in dative. So das Zimmer is nominative, das Zimmer is in accusative, and dem Zimmer is in dative. That is the reason we have written here dem Zimmer. This part of the sentence is dative. Ich bin in dem Zimmer. So ich bin is nominative, dem Zimmer is dative. We can write a short form of in them. In plus them, we can write im. So we can write im. Ich bin im Zimmer. Then we need not to add here them. Ich bin im Zimmer. Hey, wo bist du? Jetzt bin ich im Zimmer. You can say like this. So this was the third way to identify with the help of moment, no moment. Then we had the next one, that was moment is there. Moment is there, but it is in the fixed area. Then it will be a dative part. Example. Ich tanze in dem Zimmer. I am dancing in the room. But here you can see moment is there. How do you identify? We have already learned that if there is a moment, accusative, no moment, dative. But here moment is there, but it is in a fixed area. Like this is a room and I'm dancing over here. So I am doing the moment, but I'm doing this in a fixed area. That is the reason this part will go in the dative. So let's break the sentence. Who is dancing? I am dancing. So this will be nominative. What is this in? This is a vexel preposition. And here you can see moment is there, but in a fixed area. Fixed area. That's why it will be a dative part. So this rule may be a little bit complicated for you. So I'm going to tell you the easy way to identify the vexel prepositions, because sometimes a student may not identify there is a moment or no moment. How can I identify whether this is in a fixed area or not in a fixed area? So let's make it easy. I'm going to write all the three sentences again. Like first one was Ich gehe in, let me take the white color. Ich gehe in das Zimmer. Second was Ich bin in dem Zimmer. Third sentence was Ich tanze in dem Zimmer. So our next way to identify is with the help of question. If we have a question with wohin, then vexel preposition will be used in accusative. So very simple rule. If we have a question with wohin in case of vexel preposition, then vexel prepositions will be used in accusative. If the question is with wo, then vexel preposition will be used in dative. So let's understand first what is wohin and wo. So let's see, this is an arrow. If I am going from one place to another place, then I can use the question wohin. Wohin. So for going, wohin. To come from one place to another place, then it will be woher. Like if I am coming from A to B, then it will be woher. If I am going from B to C, one place to another, then wohin. And to be on a particular place, this will be wo. So this will be to where, from where, and where. So English translation will be to where. This will be simple for a particular place, and this will be from where. So these are three where: woher, wo, and wohin. And what is our rule? With question with wohin, then vexel preposition will be in accusative. Question with wo, then vexel preposition will be dative. Let's apply this rule over here. This part is nominative part. Why? Because here we have a question with who. Ich gehe, who is going. Ich bin, who is. Ich tanze, who is dancing. So question is with who. This part is nominative. This in is a vexel preposition. Here we need to apply our rule. Which rule? This one, wohin and wo. Now, ich gehe in das Zimmer. Where I am going? This will be wohin. That's why that Zimmer will go in accusative. Here, ich bin in dem Zimmer. Wo bin ich? Ich bin in dem Zimmer. So question is with wo. So this has gone in dative. Third is tanze in dem Zimmer. Hey, where are you dancing? So which where we are using? From where, or to where? We are using this where. Where are you dancing? I am dancing in the room. Ich tanze in dem Zimmer. So here again we have the question with wo. That's why it will be dative. So these are two ways to identify vexel prepositions. The first one was with the help of moment and no moment. Like if you have moment, accusative, if If we don't have any moment, then it will be dative. Moment is there, but it is in a fixed area, then it will be dative. So this rule may be complicated for you to identify when do we have moment and when we don't have. So easiest ways to identify is with the help of question. So whenever we have the question, then it will be, when we have the question with wohin, then it will be accusative. Question with wo, then it will be dative. So this was the third way to identify the accusative sentence. Next one, how to identify the accusative sentence. Preposition. Accusative preposition like für, bis, doors. There are other accusative prepositions as well. We will cover them in accusative preposition part. So whenever we have the accusative preposition, that part of the sentence will be accusative. Example, für means for. Ich kaufe ein Auto für dich. So let's break the sentence. Who is going to buy or who is buying? We have already learned that whenever we have the question with who, it will be nominative. Here the question is with what. What? So it will be accusative. Or you can apply other rule, subject, object. This is ich is a subject and I not is a direct object. Then what is this für? Für is a accusative preposition. So if we have the accusative preposition, next noun or pronoun, whatever we have, that will go in accusative. That is the reason this is accusative. So in English we have two you and you. This you will be nominative do, but this will have two parts, this and there. This is accusative and there is dative. So which you we would need over here? We would need accusative part. Why? Because we have a accusative preposition für. That is the reason we have used here this. So I hope it is clear now to identify the accusative part. Now next we will have one more trick, that is accusative verbs. So in German basically there are certain verbs which are accusative. If we have these verbs, then this question format will not apply for them, these verbs. Example, anrufen. Anrufen means to call. This is an accusative verb. We can take one more. Lieben. Lieben means to love. This is also an accusative verb. Example, ruft mich an. He is calling to me. Now let's break the sentence. Who is calling? He is calling. So question is with who. That's why this will be nominative. And why I have used mich over here? That is the accusative. Why? Because anrufen verb is accusative. That is the reason this has come into accusative. So in English we have I and me. In German I will be ich, but me will be divided into two parts. First one is mich and second one is mir. So mich is accusative and mir is dative. So let me rewrite it. Mich is accusative and mir is dative. And ich is nominative. So in English we have I and me, but in German we have three: ich, mich and mir. Me has been divided into two parts, mich and mir. So which me do we need here? We need the accusative. Why? Because here verb anrufen is the accusative verb. That is the reason we brought this mich here. So ruft mich an. Liebt sein Auto. he loves his car. He loves his car. So lieben verb is accusative. That is the reason this part of the sentence is nominative, because we have the question with who, and this part of the sentence is accusative. So this is nominative part, this is accusative part. Okay, so we have learned how to identify nominative, how to identify accusative. Let's do the revision. How to identify accusative? First one was with the help of question. Let me take a single color. With the help of question. Question was what. If you have a question with what, then it will be accusative. Exception was already there. Keep that exception in mind, that if we have the question with what but verb is sein, then that will be nominative only, not the accusative. Second way to identify the accusative case was direct object. Direct object always accusative. Third way we identify vexel preposition. Vexel preposition rule I have already cleared. We can identify vexel prepositions with two tips: moment, no moment, and with question format. So let me write moment and wohin question. So you can apply either of the rules, moment and wohin. Fourth way to identify the accusative case was with the help of accusative prepositions. Whenever we have the accusative prepositions, then next part of the, just after the preposition, whatever we have, noun or pronoun, that will go in accusative. Fifth way to identify the accusative was accusative verbs like lieben, anrufen. So they will be accusative. So these are the 5 rules to identify the accusative case. Nominative was very much easy. What was the rule for nominative? Whenever we have a sein verb, that part of the sentence will be nominative. Second one was if you have a subject and a verb, then it will be nominative. So we have covered nominative and accusative. Okay, now we are going to cover the dative case. Same rule will be for dative as well. So let me put over here. In accusative we have the question with what. In dative we have question with whom. In accusative we have direct object. In dative it will be indirect object. In vexel preposition case, in accusative we had moment and wohin question, but in dative it will be no moment and question with wo. Here we have accusative preposition. In dative we will have dative preposition. In accusative we had the accusative verbs, but in dative we will have dative verbs. So we can take examples. Okay, that how to identify the dative case. Now the third one is dative case. So what we will do, we will apply the same rules that we use for accusative. First rule was question with whom. In German it will be wem. Let me write an example. Ich schreibe ihm einen Brief. That means I am writing him a letter. So let's break this sentence. Who is writing? We have already learned that question with who, it will be nominative. What I am writing. Question with what, it will be accusative. Whom I am writing. That is the reason this has gone into dative. So question with who, nominative what, accusative whom, dative. So how do we identify? We should take here im. Why we can't take here in? So in English we have he and him. But what will happen in German? He will be nominative, and him will be divided into two parts. First one will be accusative, and second one will be dative. So accusative will be in, and dative will be im. So which one do we need over here? We would need dative part, because question is with whom. That is the reason I have written here im. Ich schreibe ihm einen Brief. Was schreibe ich? Ich schreibe ihm einen Brief. So this was the first way, question with whom. Second was direct object or indirect object. Direct object always accusative, that we have already learnt, and indirect object is dative. So how to identify this is the indirect object? Like this is me, ich. This is a letter that I am writing, and this is he, er. So there are three persons, ich, er, and brief. So what I am doing, I am writing a letter. That is the reason this will be a subject and this will be an object. So brief is here an object. But who is er? Er is an indirect object. Indirect object. That is the reason this will go in dative and it will be changed into ihm. Ich schreibe ihm einen Brief. So two ways. Question with whom? Dative. Indirect object, dative. Vexel preposition we already covered, that if there is no moment, dative. If moment is there but in a fixed area, then also it is dative. If the question with wo, then also it is dative. We can take one example. Wir laufen in dem Stadion. Stadion is stadium. Article of the stadion is das Stadion. Das Stadion. So let's break the sentence. Who are running? We are running. That is the reason nominative. What is this in? Vexel preposition. Now what will happen for the vexel preposition? We need to apply the rules. No moment, accusative, question, no moment, accusative, or dative. We need to identify. So what we have learned? If there is moment, accusative. If there is no moment, dative. If moment is there but in a fixed area, then it will be dative. So which rule we are applying over here? Moment is there but in a fixed area, because stadium is a fixed area and we are running in the stadium. So we will apply the rule moment is there but in a fixed area. That is the reason this part of the sentence will go into dative. Or we can apply the second rule, question with wo. Where are you running? We are running in a stadium. So question is with wo. Where are you running? That is the reason this will be in dative. We can write the short form, that is im. Wir laufen im Stadion. Third one was like accusative. Like we had accusative prepositions will be having the accusative sentence. Same, the dative prepositions will have the dative part of the sentence. Like mit. Mit is a dative preposition. Dative preposition. It means with. Like I am with you. Ich bin mit dir. Question with who? Nominative. Sein verb. Nominative. So this part of the sentence is nominative. What is this mit? Mit is a dative preposition. That is the reason this noun pronoun, whatever we have just after the preposition, that will go into dative. Okay. So we have learned how to identify nominative, accusative, and dative. If you practice these rules, then in your life you will not make any grammar mistakes in nominative, accusative, and dative. Thank you very much. Bye bye.